Morning, everybody, and once again, welcome back in today's class. Today, we are on the day number 19, and we are going to be discuss a little bit more in this area now. So, yesterday, if you notice that we have created the assessment, advanced assessment, right? And now, little bit more in the advanced assessment plus how to schedule that assessment that we are going to be discuss now. Okay. So, in the advanced assets assessment, what we notice that uh, not this one, sorry, I'm just checking my other screen. Yep, okay, this what we are discussing. Oof. Yeah, okay, good. So here we are. So we were discussing the factors, that there are manual factors. So we'll discuss a little bit more and we quickly move to the next part. So in the factor, we say manual factor, group factor, automated factor. Come back here, or I'll go for my favorite. Manual we saw yesterday, group factor. Group factors are those factors which are combined and which are, like I can say, score depends on the responses of the corresponding manual factors. Like if you break a category into subcategories, that is called the group factor. Like impact. How this training is going to be impact you. Atul, this training is giving motivation is one impact or one type of impact. Motivation in the sense of able to sit on the time, attend the regular classes, all things will be like this. So in this part, we can say like impact. It is my growth factor. And if you see this in the impact, they have different sections. Operational impact, business impact, financial impact, reputational impact. Means one factor within the questions, but in the questions, when you put the questions for different sections, then this is called the group factors. ये देखो ये नीचे manual factors हैं ये, but on the top it is a group factor, because this particular will discuss only and only about the this thing, different type of impacts. Nothing else gets changed. Same thing you have to be do. You have to be go and open this impact, define your questionnaire like this, choices. You have to put everything is there. But the only difference is that this is called the group factor because it is only about impact, but in the impact it has a 5 different sections. That is called the group factor. Next one is that automated. When we need the data for our risk assessment from the different tables, then we use the automated factor. Means for the assessment, the value get filled automatically from the different ServiceNow tables or third-party tables, like this field indicators. It's a automated query factor. Response time number, risk, data source. See, table. That the question of this assessment will be this there. If approval done, then indicator pass. Now, no need to be go to the approval table manually. You can just check that is it approval done yesterday or not. So this is something kind of a, if you remember in the change, we have risk conditions. So risk condition is something, if you just click on the calculate risk and few things done automatically. There is one condition called lead time. If less than 3 days, if the lead time is less than 3 days, then it will be a high risk. So do you tell system that change is getting released in 3 days? No. You just put the date in the plan start date and then system calculate that part. This is called the automated factors. So it depends the need of the business, the need of the use case, and the need of see that how much you have matured in the system. Then we can do this particular part. One more thing which we discussed yesterday is called the simulation. For that, let me open this one. Any methodology you can open. Only one thing which is important here is that simulation only work if the state is draft, but the factors must be published. What I will do, I'll just create a copy for this one. Simulation means how I can say. How many of you are using the flow designer? Or you work in the flow designer? Anybody who work in the flow designer? Nobody's using the flow designer. In the flow designer, before you publish your flow, you can test it with some existing request. The same thing is applicable here as well. Simulation says before you publish this methodology to the users, to the business, let's test it how it look like. I click on the simulate and you can see on which risk you want to be tested. I want to be tested on the change management risk and submit. See, a simulated assessment has been created. Click on this. You can see this. This is a simulated assessment. It means if you run this assessment, the score will not counted in the actual one. I remember when I was in my MCA, we have a subject called the simulation. And in that simulation, there was an example. When these people who are getting trained for pilot or they're going in the space. So the company, the organization, or even not, that is a very big deal, very big thing. Air hostess or crew members. Do you think that they always get trained in the actual flights? No. So the companies has a build something similar to the which is look like a flight. Same sitting space, same gates, and they get trained it. Similar is this. So if we want to test that how this assessment will be look like to the actual user, we can do the simulation, and it is not that much. We can do simulation with the complete, even though you can do this part. And even though I submit it, this record will not get copied anywhere. And as soon as you publish this methodology, this particular simulation record will be deleted. So now you can see under the change management in head, we have two questions. Impact is very high. Likelihood, almost certain. See, why it's showing high? Let me show you. High and almost certain. Overall score is 20. अब ये कहाँ से आया 20? Can anybody tell me from where this 20 is coming? जो फैक्टर्स में आपने क्राइटेरिया दिया है वो है that if the value between this and this, then the score should be 20. देखो यहाँ पे देखा, will we see? Risk methodology. ये है ना जो हमने कॉपी किया है, राइट? कौन सा है हमारा असेसमेंट? कॉपी ऑफ रिस्क कंट्रोल सेल्फ असेसमेंट, दिस वन. Inherit risk we're discussing, right? It says product. Product means how this value get calculated. Where is the product? अरे कहाँ गया? PPT था ना? Let me tell you that what is this? What is the purpose of this product? Might be. So product is like a combination or the multiplication of impact into likely. So now you can see this one. Factor impact and likely. If you open the impact, what we choose in the impact? We choose in the impact is called high. High is 4. Now go back. Likelihood, we took almost certain, is 5. And then in the background, based on this formula, it get calculated. And you can see qualitative rating. Our risk is showing high. See, this score will be calculated after the mandatory responses are automatically saved. In risk score 20. कैसे है 20 का देखते हैं. It means we are somewhere this thing. Lower value 21, lower value 16. मतलब 16 से ऊपर क्या हो गया? High हो गया. So our is a high risk. So from here, it get calculated. So if you change it, or let's say you can say maximum and save. अच्छा, maximum है. Okay, one more thing. Yesterday, if you notice that we are not able to do this heat map. Why? Because heat map for the heat map configuration, we need at least 2 factors should be there. So it says x axis में आपको क्या show करना है heat map में? I want to show impact. Y axis में I want to show likelihood. ठीक है, कोई problem नहीं. If you want to define the heat map color, you can define the heat map color as well. Let me save this. ठीक. And then If you want, if you rerun this one, then you can. Sorry, it's in the published. Okay, this is in the published phase. Let me go back to this particular part now. Open record. And now if you click on the simulate again, I want to simulate. Let's say I want to pick up another change. Inaccurate. Forecast. Submit. Now open this. See, get started. Inherit risk. Very low and almost certain. High score is 5. Why? What we say here. How to calculate? The maximum should be calculated. अतुल maximum कैसे हो गया? क्योंकि if you see the impact, very low is 1, and if you go in the likely, almost certain is 5. Because we put this factor need to be calculated on the maximum basis, and then we check the rating. Lower value is 0. Very low. Very low. Understood that how this calculation work and why we did the factor like this. Clear your thought, guys? Anu, Manish, Ritam, Kiran, Hassan, Hemant, Sai, Mahesh, Vinod. Are you able to connect the dots which we done yesterday? That why we're doing this vertical, why with this sum, why with this average? Because on the basis of that, we're doing this thing. And we're still in the simulation. So let's say one is done, control assessment. I can say control assessment is not applicable for me. Okay, leave it, no problem. You want to go to next? Residual risk. Okay. Is it applicable for me? It is applicable, but it's not showing to me. Okay, let's say this is also not applicable. Now the risk response. Yesterday, if you notice that risk manager go to the risk and then responding it. But here I, as the entity owner, is telling that, okay, I am accepting this risk or I'm avoiding this risk. It says, do you want to create a task? Definitely yes. Create task. And you can do this thing. Now what I will do, or what we will do now, you want to create any issue as well. Let's do one thing. Let's try to schedule this one. So now what is the next step? Everybody clear till this point? Can you give a confirmation that yes, everything that what we configured yesterday, we're able to see that how it's working here? Or you're still in the doubt? Okay, thanks. So now what we'll do, this has been done now. Simulation has been done. There's another thing which is important, that is called the approval configuration. When I submit it, and we are noticing that this particular stuff or this particular record is going for the approval, and this has been set up in this area. Not here, sorry, in this one. Approval configuration. Advanced risk assessment approval. Like in the change, we have this thing, change approval policy. In the same manner, we have a advance. In the advance, we have a approval configurations. Advanced risk assessment approval, risk acceptance, task approval. So if in this case I approve and I create a task, then who need to be approve it? Yeah, this one, sorry. I can define here. So in this, I can say, okay, level 1, level 2. And this is doing nothing. Practically, this is doing nothing. If you remember, in the entity, we put reviewer and approver. This record just take the value from there and in the background run the flow for us. See, get approved from risk instance approver field. ठीक है, जो भरे the name they put it, I'll get and I'll put into the workflow level. See, approver type, approver from a source. ठीक है, approval required from anyone, yes. Like in the change in the approval in our records, do you need to be everybody in the group should approve? One person should be approved, like this we can define here. So generally we don't do anything on this particular record unless we need some specific approvals. Then we do it. Otherwise, we go like this format only. Now the question comes that Atul, I am a risk manager and I need to be asked 200 people to do the risk assessment. Do I need to be create these assessments one by one? No. We can schedule it in a one go. So what we'll do now, we go to the risk assessment, risk workspace, go to a list, and then you can see risk assessment planning, scheduled assessment. Click on this, click on new. Means now I want that my business users should fill this assessment, and I'm defining that. Which methodology you want to be do it. So I'll pick up this one, copy of risk control, because this is what we done now. Why it's not available? Because it is not published till now, but it is published. Okay. This cover only one entity class, line of business. Okay. In this line of business, I want to be add the entities. Let's say, what is our class? LNG workers. How many entities are there? 117. Do you want to be run for everybody? Yes. Click add. And I can say these all need to be done. And these are the owner. Add. In this particular concept, I can say ServiceNow is more using the automation. Now click mark as a complete. Okay. Now these entities, देखो आ गया approver. Who need to be approved? Risk owner. Approver type is entity owner. The thing is that if anybody want to be approver, they must have a advanced ARA rules in this particular domain. Mark as complete. Reassessment frequency. How frequently you want it? I want it weekly. And days to overdue is 3. And then mark as complete. Are you ready now to schedule this? Yes, I am ready. This is what the 5 we are saying, right? So initiate assessment. Done. Now what I will do, I will impersonate as able tutor because he has the two assessments. He's the owner of the entities. Go to risk compliance, go to task, go to risk assessment. Oops. Oh, they have this thing now. Okay, he might don't have a risk assessment role, ARA role, assessor role. Okay, let me do one thing. Let end impersonation and user admin, user. As I said that this is required the ARA role and edit. देखो उसके पास नहीं है ना assessor role and let's say these two I can give it. Save and now I can impersonate again and now hopefully he will be able to see it. This workspace, this one. Oops, it's not working. Acha, ruko. Let's go back here. Let me log out and log in again from our ID. This workspace and we'll go here and check it quickly. List and schedule assessment. This is what we initiated, right? Open it. Total 5 assessments has been done to be this one. You can see the status: completed assessment, overdue assessment, pending assessment, reinsurance. And now click this and initiate assessment. Because अब तक pending ही थी उसकी, we did not reinitiate this. Same thing, go back, small business. It's again Abraham Lincoln and initiate assessment. Now what we'll do, we just give a right to Abraham Lincoln as well, that he has a proper rights or not. User admin, user and Abraham Lincoln and edit. Sorry, ARA assessor, and he need at least IT operator role. One role required to assess the workspace. Not compliance. Not this one, IT risk manager. Or there's something called operation manager as well. Save. And now let's try to be impersonate Abraham Lincoln. Shows part of query on asset and risk analysis is being made because insufficient access for query range operation on due date. Okay, it's creating an issue now. This is something query range has been. So now one thing has been done. recently ServiceNow introduced more than 70,000 ACLs under this query range. And due to this, it's creating a problem for me. Let me do one thing then. And impersonation and go to our risk. I'll show you another example so that we can do it. Let's say or what I want to do on my entities, I want to be run the separate or new assessment. So I can define like this as well. Scoped entities. And somewhere is David Lou is there. Click on the new definition. Let's say business. This one entity. Version 39 only. I want to see something which says okay. Let's say caramel overfilled. Continue. And any risk. Okay, choro. Let me go to David Lou just to show that how it look like. Because David Lou has all the rights. So once we schedule, a user will get email that when he need to be completed. And now this is the actual assessments are going to be happen. And these records will be get calculated. So now you can see. So I was doing this. Let me say this is not a good one. Do we have the methodology attached? I'm looking for a good methodology so that I can show you. So a user will see like this. And if you see on the top, it is not mentioned. It's a simulation. It's the actual user is doing. Get started. So we have only one, medium and submit. There is an error. Score is 0. And the error assessment need to be addressed before you submit the assessment, because this thing is not good one. Means our what I can say, assessment is not a good formatted one. I'm looking for something good. Okay, let's say this one. Resume. Okay. Now David Lou is the owner of this entity and he need to be assess this part, because inherent assessment has qualitative and the quantitative both score. Financial inheritance. Financial is medium. Means what I'm doing, I'm going to do answers for the questions. Regulatory. And you can see it's coming 3 to 1 because it's a smart assessment. High, and medium. Now what is my risk? See, automatically become high. Score is high because on this assessment we have a both type of calculations, both type of ranges, qualitative and quantitative. Control assessment. View control list and add missing. Add. Which control is applicable for this risk? These two. And add. In the control assessment, it will pick up the things from the control objective, from the policy and compliance. And then, is this control has been effective design? Need improvement. Operating effectiveness, need improvement. Need improvement. And need improvement. Overall, 1.5 ineffective. कहाँ से ineffective? coming from your factors only. And next, I would have to change the computed score. No, I don't want to be changed. Let's keep it. The residual risk, it says same as a inherent one. Okay. And finally, risk response. I avoid, I mitigate. I think in this assessment, it did not check the task need to be created. Otherwise, it should be show the task need to be created. Or I can say 1, still not showing. And it is allow multiple risk responses. This. Thoughts, nothing. Submit. Assessment summary. Overall, it is not in good situation. Okay. Now you can see my records. Assessment was submitted and moved to the monitor state now. Now monitor means same thing. Now let's say after 5 days, after 1 week, after 2 weeks, we implemented or we improve our control better. And I want to be reassess it. Click on the reassess. Same thing. I said yes. Overdue 10 days. Request assessment. Okay, assessment is this. Let's do it again. Oh, we should change it. This is okay. Get started. Do you want to copy the previous risk assessment results? Remember this option also, we have the same thing in our risk assessment configuration. I said no. I want to go for the new records. Now I can say low, 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 and low. Now, one question is pending. Unlikely. Now you can see risk is low now. Now Mahesh has a question. Atul, last time it was high, now it is low. Do you have any comparison as well? We have comparison. I'll come back. Now, next. Same controls the last time. Effective, effective. Establish, maintain other control, effective, effective. Scoring, green. Next. I'm keeping the ratio is the same. Next. Last time, would like to be continued with the existing responses. I said no. I want to change the responses. Now, I want to accept this one and submit. And looks good. This time it is going for the approval. But if you see the summary, this is a current summary. Not view summary. Kanga, there is an option called advanced summary as well, where you can see that what was previously and what was earlier. So now you can see inherited, control, and residual risk. You can see all the options here now. And now it has been requested for the David to be approve it. Waiting approval. And I can show all approval David Lu. So David can go here again. Issues, task, risk assessment. This was or he can approve from here or not. Pasted and approved. Save. And now go back to my assessment. It's completed now. So by this way, when an event gets scheduled, so now you can see this thing. Previously, it was like this: high, ineffective, high. Now low, ineffective, low, and accepted. You want to see the previous assessment? You can see here. You want to see about the assessment? What about this assessment? You can see. You want to see the activity logs? You can see here. Clear हुआ picture that what we did in the risk assessment, and now today we have done scheduling and we did the actual assessment as well. And if I tell you one thing, that after that the concept or the process is totally same. So now task is also getting credit, because for this one they don't have any task. They don't have anything, they don't have any option called the task. So now if I come back here, what was the entity for us? IT. And in impersonation, workspace, risk workspace, and entity. Here. Start with IT. ठीक है, ये था ना, right? And now if you go and check detail, department, company, and you can see everything. Honor is this, location is this, entry type is a department, and you can see here risk assessment जो भी हमने करी है. And risk event we discuss again. Inherited controls, engagement, all these things will be there. Aggregated risk, ये दो हैं. एक इसकी, it has a two assessments actually. It has a two methodology. One is IT assessment and one is this which we done just now. So you can see this. Our score is this. And if you open this assessment, कहाँ गया? Sorry. It is in the completed state. Why? Because even though we have respond as well and we have a monitor as well. Because there is no need of task, then fine. If task is needed, like we see here in the copy of this thing, so a task will get created. LNG test, copy risk. To whom it need to be sent? What is the plan? Due date, save task plan. Let's test it. Save task. So task get generated. This is my task number. Every task type, every type of risk acceptance has a different prefix. ACC, ACT, AV, T, MTT, MGT, like this. So every task has its own type. Let me tell you one more thing here. लिखा था मैंने ये. ठीक है. So now if I click on this task, assign to system admin, this save task, and now you can see APT. How I can go and see the task? And you can see risk response task. Again, every task has its own life cycle, which we already done in the. Please don't work on this response task. Task is from the simulated assessment. करने की जरूरत नहीं, but if you want to see that how the life cycle work, so you can put the details here. Then it will go for the work in progress. I know it's this one. If it has some approval, some action items required, it will do. You can create the action item that, okay, this person need to be go this or prepare these policies, kind of things can be done. This is the last level which we can see. So we done the task, and this is what we done the life cycle. We done inheritance assessment, control assessment, registry assessment, and respond, waiting and monitoring. Only thing, the difference is that this assessment in the standard, these sections are not there. Only assess, respond, awaiting approval, monitor. But in the advanced, these sections are there definitely. This is what we discussed already. Entity overview, you can go to the entity and then you can this thing. So if I go back my entity again, yes, right, my entity. If you click on this 360-degree view, you can see all the picture now. Downstream, upstream, compliance, rules. See, active policies, aggregated risk engagement, inherited controls, entity class, and this thing. Aggregate risk. These two risks are there. Engagements. Under this, it has these many things. Entity. This thing. 25, and it is a downstream. Like this. I want to see the risk view. Okay, change it. Open issues, one risk assessment and scope. No, I want to see the risk. 105 risks are there, which is applicable on this entity because of different assessments of the statements are there. So by the 360 view, you can check it. Compliance view. Clear, everybody? Doubt, question, clarification? Yes, anybody, any doubt, question? All
Yes.
clear or all clear? So with this, we have done our major part, that is called advanced risk assessment. If you're not doing the practice, believe me, tomorrow you're not able to recall what we have done. So better do the practice. It is, I'm telling you from experience. When I was reading this earlier, I thought it is too tough to be explained. But it is easy to be do. The only thing is that we need to be understand the fundamental, that from where these things are coming. So just see this, that what it's coming here, like residual risk assessment. It says inherit risk from the control effectiveness. देखो, इसीलिए when we're using that, so we're doing the assessment on the, sorry, we did assessment of this particular thing. Yeah, this one, business RC essay. Let me show you. This one, right? And whenever we click on the residual risk, inherit risk and control effectiveness कि वहीं से उठा के कैलकुलेट कर लो. Look up matrix between inherit assessment and the control. देखो. Remember that did we fill this? If you reassess it and request and see. क्या हो गया? अच्छा, it need to be go to David Liu. So I cannot start it. But if you notice previous one, कहाँ से था लो? इन दोनों के combination से. Why? Because it was mentioned here only that I don't want to be go for the residual risk assessment. I want to be go for the inherit one, and I have multiple options. Inherit score from the control event score or script or both lookup. I said both lookup. उसने क्या किया? और inherit is low. Inherit is low. And control is effective. Control is effective. Low and effective. Show me low. Showing low. If you see current one, sorry, if you see the previous one, अरे previous अच्छा reassess करना पड़ेगा. ये देखो high and ineffective. High and ineffective. Very high risk. Might be the way to check the score as well. High ineffective is showing high. High ineffective is showing high. This one, sorry, this one. High. So it is coming from here. Fundamentally, you should be very clear that what we are doing, and then everything is in front of us now. That yes, we're able to see that how the things are working. The only important part is that how to configure this part is important. Clear, everybody? Doubt, question, clarification.
Yeah.
Any question? Mahesh, Sai, Vinod, Hemant, Hassan, Manish, Anu, Kiran.
Yeah.
Good. Remember, tomorrow you have a class test as well. So get ready for this one. Now the next topic is called the risk appetite. Risk appetite means something which I'm happy to take it. Sorry. Which I'm happy to take it to meet my objective. Next week is final exam. I can take a risk to be awake till 1 o'clock in the night because I can meet my objective. Risk tolerance. It says variation from appetite to the next level. 1 o'clock I can do it, but 4 o'clock is my tolerance. Char is tough. So it says this is acceptable deviation from the organization risk appetite and is considered tolerance limit. These two things we have to be define it in our system. So what we're going to do, if you go back here and go to the properties. Yesterday you noticed that we see this thing and now this thing. Define risk appetite. Do you want to be go appetite only? You want to go appetite and tolerance only or none? I said I want to go for the both. Express appetite limit in quantitative or qualitative? I said both. And now I save it. ठीक है? Now अतुल ठीक है सेव हो गया but what to do? Now if you see and you go back your risk dashboard, risk compliance dashboard, risk workspace dashboard, and you can open any entity. Let's say I open this one, EMC. Go to detail. See, we got this risk appetite section as well. Use the attribute below to define the risk appetite and tolerance. You need to be defined that up to this level, if risk is coming, still okay. But if it is going beyond that, consider it as a non-compliant. Averse, minimalist, cautious, open, and hungry. Tolerance, same thing. Let's come back and see what this value says here. This is what we see that yes, we can do. Or if you want to be go, you can go back here as well. It's called, let me go to the favorite and search for the risk appetite, scale and status. ये देखो as averse मतलब avoid of risk and uncertainty in the achievement of the key deliverables. नहीं मुझे करना ही नहीं है. I don't want to be go. So I can set this as a averse. Either the company is risk taking, either company is a averse area, averse type. So I can define here. Prediction of undertake activities considered to be very safe in the achievement of the key objectives. हाँ मैं कर सकता हूँ इतना रिस्क लूंगा but it's safe for me, nothing to be worried. Hungry, eager to innovate and choose activities that force maximum opportunities. More money, more risk. Sorry, more risk, more money. I want to be go up to hungry level. And same tolerance के apply के लिए. Tolerance no tolerance I cannot go for the cautious part. See it says it is not possible. Let's say open and 3. The qualitative appetite should be less than the quantitative tolerance. The qualitative appetite should be less than the qualitative tolerance. इससे कम होना चाहिए. The qualitative tolerance should be greater than the. अरे चक्कर क्या दोनों ही नहीं करने देना मुझे ये. अच्छा ये ऐसे है ठीक है. Now how much in the money you can do it? I can take a risk of the appetite 10 and tolerance up to 15 क्योंकि ये तो ज्यादा हो ही सकता है ना मेरा. And then it will calculate your status automatically. When so this is it, the risk appetite status automatically computed based on the defined risk appetite. अब आपको अपने रिस्क में ही इसको अपडेट करना पड़ेगा with risk statements. There's a no risk statement or what? See, there's nothing as in match here. So based in so the thing is that risk appetite mainly available. If I show this slide here, कहाँ गया? This is something I read it actually. हाँ Risk appetite is applicable in the risk statement, entity and the risk record. ये तो स्केल था, ये स्टेटस है. Outside appetite means on the basis of your risk appetite. If I go back here and show you something more, let's say I'm opening this risk. In this risk, I have to be define appetite. Why it's showing blank? Because इसकी entity भी कुछ नहीं है. अच्छा यार, publish भी नहीं है, इस वजह से प्रॉब्लम है. Anything which we can see, loss of availability. No, it's all in the publish. So based on your appetite, this thing get calculated. I'll show you tomorrow that I'll pick up one example which is already in the published state, or I can see our entity something. Risk appetite, but this entity don't have anything called the risk or the appetite. So if I define the appetite here first, I say appetite is 1 and 3, 10 and 20. Now save and now go to risk. It should be reflected here as well now. Hmm? 10 and 20. Risk appetite statement. Might be when we assess, it will come automatically. So I'll show you this life cycle tomorrow, that how this risk appetite life cycle, because it also have a journey. It is not that it is coming automatically. We have to do some assessment in the background. Then this risk appetite will be coming these things. And these results will come automatically, that okay, what need to be do, what not need to be do here. क्लियर होगा यहाँ तक सबको? Doubt, question, clarification, guys? Good. No question. Let me stop the recording and take a quick attendance now.